Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Henry, or Heno, as you've seen on my YouTube channel name. I'm going to be doing some Minecraft videos on here. I play Minecraft quite a lot, often, um, and usually I just do builds and stuff. I also play with friends, and we build on servers, do some challenges and stuff. So I thought I would film some of the stuff that I do and stuff I do with my friends on Minecraft, because I thought turn it into, well, it already is a hobby, but I thought I'd do some filming and just post it on YouTube, mostly because I want to, share the builds I do because I think it's cool and it'd be interesting to see what other people think on the stuff I do, and also to become like a better builder, because I'm not amazing. Would like to be better, and I could get some tips from people online and stuff like that. So yeah, that's why I'm doing it. It should be fun. Hopefully it goes well. I do apologize for this video, the first video. I had some issues with recording, as this is the first video I've ever done. I'm not very good at figuring out how to do it all. So yeah, the audio kind of all went south, and as you can see, this doesn't really match up with me moving right now. So I am now doing a voiceover to kind of just go through the video. So not ideal for the first video, not a great first take on it all, but I mean, hopefully it will go better next time and I can finally figure out how to use all this recording software, because it's a lot. Minecraft isn't as easy recording as it is just playing. So yeah, so today I'm going to be doing a video, and I decided for the first video I was going to do, I might as well do a starter build, because it's one of the first things you do as you go into Minecraft. You start building a house, and your dirt huts and your stuff like that. I'm going to try and build a little bit nicer of a starter build, because obviously I'm in creative and I'm doing just builds and stuff, so I'm not going to be in like the survival aspect of things where I have to collect everything. But yeah, this is yeah, I'm going to try and keep in time with everything that's going on the screen, so bear with me as I try and do it. So I've just spawned in, and I was expecting a grassland biome that covered a big area, but I've spawned in next to a jungle, an acacia wood, and also I've forgotten, I think it's red sand, I might be wrong, biome. So it's kind of a strange and rare first spawn in, so I kind of wanted to do a build where I'd be using only the blocks that are around me in the area, like you would in survival. So like if you spawn in like an oak biome, you'd only be using oak and stuff like that, or birch trees and spruce trees, and then acacia for acacia. But I've kind of really spawned in the middle of 3 and next to an ocean, so it's not an ideal spawn for this video, but I mean, I think we'll work with it. This is me just, I guess, looking around at the biomes and saying the same thing. There's not a lot of variety of trees in this little grassland area I've got. I've only got oak, so I think I end up using some spruce things, so I think we're just gonna have to ignore the fact that I've used a few spruce things, and I think I plant one later on to say that it was there the whole time, and tried to make it a running joke throughout the video, but because the audio didn't record, that's not so funny anymore. Yeah, so I think I get ready to start building now. So this is me just talking about the oak trees, and yeah, it should jump into a time lapse in a moment if I've done it all correctly, and I start laying out my build. Okay, we're back after the first time lapse. This is the layout of the starter base that I'm building. It's, first of all, it's too thin on that big part here, which I'm pointing out on camera here, and that's because I built it logs first, not planks first, which I do quite often and then have to fix later on, because the planks are always one block in compared to the logs, which gives you less room. So I always do that. It's just a force of habit I need to get out of. So always make sure you do your planks first before your logs. So I do need to make this build a little bit wider, because it won't fit all the stuff you need in it for the starter build. I also added a little side, little room here. I quite like the idea of having a little side room. I didn't want to have another 2-story. I thought just a 1 would be quite nice, and it gives it a little bit more character to the build and not like too much where it takes away from like the main thing. So I start to get rid of this wall to make it a little bit wider. Okay, now that that wall is 1 block wider now, it definitely shows that there's a lot more room in there, and definitely worth doing. So here I'm talking about what I'm going to use, the blocks I'm going to use for the roof. Now, when you just spawn in, you'll kind of like not have the tools that you need to get stuff like deep slate, which I probably would use for a build and stuff like that. So I'm gonna use cobblestone and mossy cobblestone and blocks like that. Mossy cobblestone, which you can get at village, and obviously just normal cobblestone from just mining stone. You can smelt stone as well, but I think I'll just use cobblestone just to give it that kind of like starter base feel to it, where it's not when we get too far into the game when we start using stuff like silk touch and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm just pointing out here with the sand that if you did do this in a desert biome or something like that, you could use sandstone. I thought that might be quite cool to see how that would look for the roof. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do the roof in cobble, which I do actually end up struggling with, and you'll see why shortly. Okay, so back from the roof time lapse, and I apologize for making you watch that, and if you have left, that's absolutely fine, because that roof is one of the worst things I think I've ever built in Minecraft. It doesn't work with the build at all. I've got this weird hump at the top that doesn't match the build. I don't like the way it scales up. It just is so wrong in so many ways. And I tried redoing it multiple times. Like that time lapse is so much longer than I've put in. Like, I don't know why I struggled with it so much. But I think I gave up here and then just started doing the rest of the build, and I thought I'd come back to the roof when I actually figured out what I wanted to do. So I'm just filling in the rest of the build now with like the fronts of it and the back of it as well, and making some space with some windows and stuff. Okay, so I fixed the roof at this point. It looks much better than it did before. It's straighter than I wanted because obviously it's just stairs going up and down. I wanted to kind of bend it inwards a little bit to point up at the top. But I mean, it's still much better than what it was before. Much happier with that now. I added some beams here, kind of give it a bit more depth and structure, but again that reduced the space indoors, so I probably could have made it a little bit wider there as well for more stuff and stuff like that. But as you can see on that side panel there, I've got nothing, and I was debating what to do with the side panel here. I wasn't sure whether to add a balcony, maybe make another side like that one there, or maybe make it the same as the back, which I waved around there. So I think I ended up choosing the balcony for this, but it took me a while to figure out what I wanted to do. I think you could do lots. I think you could have another house coming off the side there, and that wouldn't look too bad either, but it'd have to be taller than the one on the other side. And here you can see the balcony I've done, which is a shortcut over, but quite happy with that. It's not amazing. I mean, it's just a balcony. It looks alright. I probably could have done the fence post a little bit further out. Now I'm looking at that again. But yeah, so balcony is in. It looks better. And I think now I'm going to do most of the outside decoration. Just kind of blend it in a little bit more, because at the moment it's just a block of wood and there's nothing really to it. So I'm going to add some decorations just to blend it in more with the surroundings. Probably some stuff like windows and leaves and vines and stuff. But yeah, hopefully still using most of the stuff you could get when you first log in. Oh, this is me pointing out the spruce tree that definitely was there from the start, and I didn't just plant to maybe use for spruce trapdoors in a moment in the time lapse. Okay, quick break from the time lapse here. I just thought you would all appreciate me struggling to place barrels because they're chests in creative, and as you can see, I quite can't grab the concept of the control button on my keyboard. But yeah, I'm still struggling. There we go. I think I managed to get this 3 barrels out. But I think that is the exterior of the house covered. I'm quite happy with my decoration here. The tree, the mixture of the spruce and the oak leaves I liked, and everything else, the barrels, those trapdoors especially, kind of just give it that extra bit of detail that you need on a build. They're really great at just covering stuff up. They give it a little bit more character. I would recommend using them on pretty much any build you've got that uses wood and stuff, or even just on normal stone. Here I'm just showing the mossy cobblestone, just scattered around in normal cobblestone. I really like the effect. This is always great effect with the cobble and the more mossy cobble. It really kind of blends well together and paired well with the vines as they run down. So I'm really quite happy with how it turned out in the exterior. Next I do the interior, and I'm just figuring out what I'm going to do with the inside here, and after that I do the outside bit, as I just indicated with a big swing round with the camera. So I do the interior first, and then I do the exterior again. And the build is done. I think it looks great. I'm very happy with that. I would actually have this as a starter house in pretty much any of the servers I've been in. I'm pretty impressed with how it turned out. I think it might be the best starter house I've done. Although I have done some pretty cool other stuff as well. But yeah, so very happy with how this turned out. I got some paths in here with some cobblestone to blend it in with the surroundings, which obviously you can do with other items as well, but that's just kind of how I do it. I've added some lanterns and barrels, that's what they're called, just to spice up the path a little bit more. I've added a farm, because you need a farm in a starter base, and obviously some animals as well that you would put in a pen, but I've just tied them to the pole there for the time being. But yeah, so farm and animals, which you definitely need for your starter base. But yeah, happy with the exterior. I think it all went quite well towards the end there after that roof disaster. But yeah, so in the inside I did a few extra things which we'll look at in a moment. I'll just give you a couple 360s of the build just so you can see what it looks like on the outside. Okay, in we go. So as you can see, I've got a little lobby area there with a bedroom just on the left. It's got your bed and some chest storage, which I did on some shelves because I thought they looked quite nice. And obviously the leaves at the top. I added some furnaces there, just a normal kitchen area with an anvil. And upstairs I've done a chest room. It's one of the first things you need is as many chests as you can have in your starter build. You're never going to have enough room for all the stuff you're going to collect, and you usually have to move builds because you don't have enough room. So always put loads of chests in. I even put some on the balcony there. And then on the top floor I did an enchantment table room, which didn't quite work because of the spacing, and it doesn't quite make sense here. As you can see, it's not quite right. But if you did make it wider, you can make it look quite nice up there. But an enchantment table is always good when you start off. It's definitely like a mid-game sort of thing if you're doing Ender Dragon and stuff. But yeah, definitely helpful to have in your starter base. So chests, lots of storage, enchantment table, crafting table, furnaces and stuff. And these windows, point out these. So I use spruce fences because glass just doesn't quite work, I find, with these wood builds. I don't know if that's just my opinion. If any of you think it does, let me know, and if I'm doing it wrong, that's fair enough. But yeah, the glass doesn't quite work for what I thought it did. I'll show you now that if you get rid of those and put the glass in, it doesn't, kind of takes away from that woody feel that it has. It might be because I'm not using tinted glass, but I definitely think the spruce fences were the right choice for this build. I do have doors on the front there, they're just always open. But yeah, that's the end of the build, as you can see. Doing a couple more 360s so you can see it all. I'm really happy with how it went. I was expecting it to go a lot worse, especially for the first video. But I guess only one thing can go wrong on it. It definitely was the audio. Yeah, so sorry for the voiceover. It would have been better if it was all in person and a little bit smoother as well. But I mean, it's fine. The build was done and I think it looks good. So I'm happy with how it turned out. Feel free to use this build as inspiration for your own builds and starter bases on your own servers. I think it turned out quite well. I think it'd be quite useful as a starter base. Try use some different woods and stuff. It'd be interesting to see if you can get different colours. I think it'd be cool if you did it in nether with the nether trees. That might look quite good. But yeah, I'm happy with how it turned out. Hope you liked watching the video, and I hope you liked the design of my build. If you do like it, let me know and I will do a tutorial for you just to give you like the spacings and stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching. Yeah, see you later. Bye.